Part 2. The Hidden Forces That Shape Human Behavior. If Part 1 revealed the masks people wear, Part 2 reveals what lies beneath them, because behind almost every action, there's an emotion. Behind every emotion, there's a belief. And behind every belief, there's usually a story, one that most people never tell. The sixth truth is this. Fear is one of the strongest forces shaping human behavior. Most people don't make decisions based only on logic. They make them based on what they fear. Losing, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of being forgotten. These invisible fears quietly influence careers, relationships, friendships, even the smallest everyday choices. Nietzsche believed that fear often keeps people from becoming who they truly are. Modern psychology agrees that fear can limit growth, not because people lack potential, but because uncertainty feels dangerous. The greatest prison isn't always built with walls. Sometimes it's built with fear. Consider something even more surprising. People rarely resist change because they love the present. They resist it because the unknown feels terrifying. Think about someone trapped in an unhappy job or a relationship that's clearly falling apart. From the outside, leaving seems obvious, but inside there, mind staying feels safer than risking uncertainty. Psychologists call this status quo bias. Our brains naturally prefer familiar situations, even when those situations make us unhappy. That's why change often feels uncomfortable before it feels freeing. The seventh truth, control is often a response to insecurity. Have you ever known someone who needed everything done their way? Every detail, every decision, every conversation. At first, it looks like confidence, but sometimes the need to control everything comes from the fear of losing control completely. Modern psychology suggests that people who experience uncertainty may become more controlling as a way to reduce anxiety. The control isn't always about power. Sometimes it's about protection. Nietzsche frequently challenged the desire to dominate others, arguing that true strength begins with mastering yourself. Controlling others is easy. Controlling your own fears, that's much harder. The eighth truth may change the way you see confidence forever. The loudest person in the room isn't always the strongest. Sometimes they're the most desperate to be heard. Real confidence rarely needs constant proof. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't announce itself. It simply exists. People with secure self-esteem often speak calmly, listen more than they interrupt. They admit mistakes without feeling destroyed by them. In contrast, someone constantly seeking validation may be trying to convince themselves as much as everyone else. The difference isn't volume, it's security. This doesn't mean quiet people are always confident, or loud people are always insecure. Human behavior is far more complex than that, but confidence built on approval disappears the moment the applause stops. The ninth truth, envy rarely looks like envy. Very few people openly admit they're jealous. Instead, envy often disguises itself as criticism, sarcasm, dismissal, or endless comparison. Someone might minimize another person's success, not because it isn't impressive, but because accepting it feels painful. Nietzsche explored a similar idea through what he called resentment state, where people cope with feelings of powerlessness by devaluing what they cannot achieve. Modern psychology recognizes that comparison can strongly affect self-esteem, especially when people constantly measure themselves against others. The healthiest response to another person's success is curiosity, not resentment. Ask, what can I learn, instead of why them? The 10th truth. The stories people tell themselves become the reality they live in every person carries an internal narrative. Some believe I'm not good enough. Others believe no one can be trusted. Some quietly repeat, I'll always fail. Whether those beliefs are true or not, they influence behavior every single day. Psychologists call these core beliefs deep assumptions about ourselves, other people, and the world once formed. They shape the choices we make, the risks we avoid, and the opportunities we never take. The remarkable thing is, most people don't even realize these stories are running. They simply experience the results. Nietzsche encouraged people to question inherited beliefs, to examine whether the values guiding their lives were truly their own. Modern psychology asks a similar question. Is the story you're living actually yours, or was it written by fear by childhood or by the expectations of other people? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The hardest person to understand is often yourself, because we all have blind spots. We all protect certain beliefs, and we all create explanations that help us avoid emotional pain. But the moment you begin questioning those stories, something extraordinary happens. You gain the freedom to write a new one, and that's where real transformation begins. Because understanding other people is valuable, but understanding yourself changes everything. In the next chapter, we'll explore shame, attention identity, and the hidden emotional wounds that shape nearly every relationship. Because beneath every mask and beneath every fear, there's something even deeper. The need to be seen, accepted, and understood.